Very good afternoon, friends. This is a very important video and would be applicable to all the taxpayers and businesses across the country as we approach another end of the financial year, and nowadays books closing cannot happen without a to-do list in the matters of GST. In this video, we would discuss certain important points which you need to take into consideration while closing the books of accounts and which are relevant for GST. You would be approached if you are into practice or even if you are in industry by the sales department, marketing department, productions, operations or the finance department also on various issues under GST and the year ending closing. First, whether the goods still in production and which are expected to be ready soon, whether an invoice for supply of those goods can be made or not before 31st of March. Well, the provision of section 31 in this case requires that a invoice can be issued before or at the time of removal of the goods, and therefore on 31st March an invoice can be made before the movement of the goods also. However, E-Waybill is required to be made only at the start of the movement of the goods. Such goods which move post 31st March, they should be shown in stock in transit. Next important question is for inwards. In case a supplier has dispatched of the material, however you have not received the material on 31st of March, whether you can take input tax credit or not. Answer is an absolute no. However, the next question which is asked by businesses is, in case your transporter collects that material X works supplier's premises, then whether input tax credit is available on the day of receipt of the goods by your agent or on the date of receipt of the goods in your premises. Well, section 16(2)(b) provides that the date of the receipt of the goods of your agent from the supplier's X works, that would be considered to be as the date of receipt of the goods, and input tax credit, in case other provisions of section 16 are fulfilled, can be taken in this case. Next important question for year ending activities is that whether the new series of invoices, delivery challans, credit notes, debit notes, payment vouchers, self invoices, that has to be done state wise or nationally. Well, in GST, which is now the way to do business, every state is considered to be as a distinct person, and therefore it is our recommendation, while it is not written anywhere in the law, but it is always our recommendation that to maintain a continued serial number as per rule 46, it is always best to have a state wise invoice series, and that would be make it easier also to have state wide trial balance. Another very important activity to be done is in the matter of credit note, friends. In case you are issuing a GST credit note, it is mandatory for you that you send a communication even through mail to all your recipients of the credit note, that is your customers, that gentlemen, we have issued you this amount of GST credit notes. Please confirm to us whether you have reversed the corresponding ITC or not, or whether you have not taken the input tax credit ab initio itself. This is required under section 15 subsection 3 of the CGST Act, and as we are seeing across during assessment or audit by the department, it would be something which would be checked. Another very important activity to be done amidst all the reconciliation 1, 3B, 3B, 2B, 3B, 2A is to reconcile temporary reversals which you are showing under table 4B2 of the GSTR 3B. So, you must ensure that all those ITC which you are showing under temporary reversals in this financial year are actually claimed in the current financial year or going forward within the next 1 or 2 months. In case they are not claimed, this would lead to a loss of revenue for your company. Next, in fact, yesterday and many a times otherwise also we are questioned by taxpayers that where is the clause whereby 26AS form in income tax needs to be reconciled with GST. Friends, we would like to bring to your attention that there is a memorandum of understanding between CBDT and CBIC for exchange of data, and by this memorandum of understanding, it is always under the authority of law that the GST department would ask you to reconcile your GST supply outwards vis-a-vis 26AS, specifically in the case of charges like packaging, freight, etc., which need to be added to the value of supply. In case 26AS and GST is not matching, then you have to give explanations as to why they are not matching. Another very important activity to be done is to reconcile your e-way bill not only with GSTR 1 but even with GSTR 2. The Honorable Apex Court in the case of Econ Gill and even the Delhi High Court in the case of Balaji Exim very recently have held that it is not only sufficient to make the payment and have the invoice to claim the input tax credit. It is also important to show that you have actually received the goods to claim the input tax credit. Wide other evidences. E-way bill is one of the major evidences to prove receipt of the goods, and therefore e-way bill reconciliation vis-a-vis input tax credit availed as per GSTR 2B is now very important to show compliance of section 16 subsection 2. Another important relaxation which was notified from 28th of December 2022 was under Rule 37 capital A, that is now from January 2023, even if your supplier does not file his GSTR 3B, you can take the input tax credit and see the compliance of the supplier on 30th of November 2023. In case the supplier has filed the 3B within this period, then there would be no dispute of your input tax credit claim. However, in case the supplier still till 30th November does not file his GSTR 1 or GSTR 3B, then the amount of ITC so claimed earlier needs to be reversed, but without interest. In case you have not taken the benefit of this rule earlier, you can claim the benefit of this rule to avoid working capital loss, at least in the short term. So friends, there are various other reconciliations, various other processes which needs to be done for closing the books of accounts in the matter of GST, like matching your GST revenues with your books of accounts, matching the portal balances of cash ledger, credit ledger, liability ledger with your books of accounts. They are procedural in nature, which you have been doing from the last 5 years. These were the important matchings and reconciliations and to-do list which we have discussed. Our article on the to-do list of 31st March 2023 and books closing for 2023 is there on our website. You can go to www.taxconnect.co.in and find it in other social media and other educational platforms. You can go through this at your own pace. Happy financial year closing 2023. Please do like, share and subscribe to this channel. Share this video for maximum dissemination of knowledge. Stay tuned. Thank you very much.